Hello listeners and welcome back. Today I wanted to be discussing and recommend a list of movies for boys to watch and enjoy for Valentine's Day. Now obviously there is no such thing as a boys movie or a girls movie. A guy can still enjoy a romantic classic just as I'm sure a lot of girls love the recommendations I will be talking about today. I just wanted to help the guys out there narrow down some recommendations that they might enjoy this Valentine's Day. All of the movies I'll be recommending will have romance as their main plot point, however still hold a lot of other fun underlining key elements as well. First up on this list we have Hitch. Alex Hitch is a dating expert and helps men woo the women of their dreams. However, when a gossip column reveals his business, Hitch starts to rethink everything he once knew about romance. Hitch is a good light-hearted romantic comedy. We basically follow Will Smith as Hitch as he gives out all these little tips and tricks on how to woo your dream girl.
60% of all human communication is nonverbal body language. 30% is your tone. So that means that 90% of what you're saying ain't coming out of your mouth.
The theme of this movie is predominantly romance, but there are still a lot of elements and underlining stories that come in. We watch Hitch fall in love and reevaluate everything he thought he once knew. Overall, it is lighthearted and funny, and is a good recommendation for guys because even though it is a fictional movie, you still may learn something about girls and dating.
Walk a little. Ask her what she thought about the show. What was her favorite photograph? Why that one? And she answers, listen to what she is saying and respond. That way, when it's your turn to talk, you'll have something better to say than I like your mouth. And all of a sudden, we're on date number 2.
Next on this list, we have She's Out of My League. Kurt, a TSA agent, meets the gorgeous Molly at the airport. The two end up keeping in touch and even start to pursue a relationship. Kirk now much work extra hard and feel the pressure of this relationship as he knows that Molly is way out of his league and he needs to do everything and anything he can to hold on to her. Now who hasn't had this fantasy? The beautiful girl of your dreams noticing you out of a room full of people. It's for sure a fantasy we've all aspired to. And in this movie, we actually get to see it play out. I think this is a perfect romantic comedy for guys, as the whole plot revolves around Kirk trying to impress Molly even though she is way out of his league. I'm sure it can be very relatable as a lot of guys can relate to the struggles of trying to impress a girl they're interested in. There are some good topics of conversation in this movie, like when they talk about the point system. As the boys talk about what number they sit on a scale of 1 to 10 as they compare their looks, jobs, and overall personality skills.
I love Kirky, but let's face it, the guy's a 5. He's at least a 6. A 6?
Look, half a point because he's a nice guy, right? And he's funny, so that's half a point each. That brings him to 6. Devin's right.
But he drives a shitbox, so you have to deduct a point, take a point off. So we're back to a 5.
5.
Meanwhile, this Molly is a hard 10. And that 5-point disparity, that is a chasm. And you can't jump more than 2 points. Where do you get this shit?
Guys, I think this system's ridiculous. All right? If someone really loves you, then you are a 10.
My God. What, are you Hannah Montana? Because nothing you're saying right now is of any help to Kirk.
It showcases some nice romance moments and conversation, and overall is just a good, fun, funny, lighthearted watch. Now it's time to get into more of our dicier recommendations. Next up, we have Europe Trip. Now, even though Europe Trip isn't technically classed as a romance, I still wanted to include it in this list because the plot is still heavily based around a guy traveling all over Europe to find a girl. When Scott's girlfriend breaks up with him after graduation, decides to go on a Europe trip and search for his pen pal Mika, whilst also dragging his 3 best friends along with him, Jenny, Cooper, and Jamie. Europe Trip is definitely a wild ride for sure. They get into some unspeakable crazy adventures. The group get to see things they thought they never would, and experience things they wish they never did.
What the hell are you doing?
Mi scusi.
No!
Mi scusi.
What?
Big tunnel.
Although this movie is heavily based around their crazy trip around Europe, I still wanted to include it. As I said, the whole drive of the story is still about Scott trying to find Mika. Plus, we have a mini Cooper and Jenny romance sprinkled throughout as well.
Holy crap!
Overall, I think Europe Trip is the perfect comedic, wild, yet still romantic recommendation for the boys this Valentine's Day. Keeping up with the themes, next on this list we have The Girl Next Door. This romantic comedy follows a high schooler, Matthew, who has just found the woman of his dreams when she moves in next door. The two immediately hit it off, but things get complicated when Matthew finds out that she was a former porn star. The Girl Next Door is for sure the perfect romantic comedy to watch with the boys. We get to watch a young high school teen fall in love with a sexy, mysterious porn star. It showcases elements of falling in love for the first time. It showcases the dedication, commitment, and compromise it takes when forming a new relationship.
Danielle, wait, I'm sorry.
Let me guess, someone showed you a tape and you thought, what the hell, she does it for a living, right?
Why didn't you just tell me?
Because I didn't want to, okay? Because I love the way you looked at me. God, do you have any idea how...
Hold on.
Fuck you!
The Girl Next Door will keep you glued to your seat with its crazy and wild adventures. The Girl Next Door really does tick all the perfects when it comes to a perfect male romance. It's fun, funny, adventurous, mysterious, and above all, sexy as hell. I really can't think of any reason why a guy wouldn't find this the perfect romantic comedy. Last but certainly not least, we have the 1999 romantic comedy classic that sparked a series of generational movies. We have American Pie. Now for this list specifically, I want to be focusing on the first ever original American Pie. I chose American Pie as the perfect boys romance. I feel like this movie deserved a spot on this list because not only is it categorized as a romantic comedy, but the story follows a group of young teen boys who want to learn about and experience sex, but also seem to find unexpected love along the way. Although American Pie is definitely more than just a romance and definitely takes us on a lot of crazy, wild rides. For starters, we have Jim. Even though Jim only has a one-night stand, that one-night stand leads to a future. Or we have Oz, the resident playboy who wants to woo the good girl but ends up falling for her. Or Kevin, who's in a committed relationship with Vicky and is dedicated to making it work. So as you can see, American Pie is just chock full of a lot of romance elements and tropes, while still being able to keep itself adventurous and wild, with many engaging and unforgettable moments. 1999's classic American Pie is by far the perfect watch for you and your mates on Valentine's Day.
Does it feel like warm apple pie?
Huh? We'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
That is all the recommendation I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed some of the recommendations on this list. Did you agree with my recommendations and think that these were some good picks to watch with the boys on Valentine's Day? Let me know if there's any movies you think I should have included. That is all for this episode. As always, everything we discussed will be linked below along with my socials. Please be sure to like, subscribe and follow. Feel free to leave all your thoughts and comments below. Thanks for listening.